we'll get into pairs. So we are in pairs because of an activity we have to do at the end. But we can start. So I'm Linet Mukunji. I do personal branding, among very many other things. The industry I have specialized in is marketing and branding. So yeah, that's the space I've operated in for a very long time. So I'm excited to meet young people because today we are talking about how you can sell yourself. I know the speaker before me was talking about value addition and all the different levels and where you see yourself. So today I'm mostly on value addition, value creation, and all the way up. But you see, from today's session, you can easily attract opportunities to go up into managerial levels by just starting from what we are going to learn today. So personal branding is not something that is talked about a lot, especially when we're in uni, but yet it's very important because let me tell you a story. So I met Gabriel, and I believe you all know Gabriel. I met Gabriel, I think it was in May? We were at an event. We were both called to attend a panel. We were both called to attend a panel. Can you hear me? Well, okay. We were both called to attend a panel, so we were in a panel discussion. Kektil is a youth program, Kektil Kenya. So they were launching their program. And we were in a panel discussion talking to young people about mentorship, the values of mentorship, how they can get into mentorship, how to get the right mentor. And then that's where I met Gabriel. So we talked, and after that, Gabriel approached me. There are a few things here and there we wanted to work together, or rather he wanted us to work on together. So, no, it's no problem. So I meet Gabriel and we start working together. And through Gabriel, there's someone who works with Gabriel. I don't know whether you all know her. She's called Carol. So we start working with whatever we were working on. Partly was also on personal branding, touching on personal branding. And Gabriel presents this lady to me and she says, I'd love you to train this lady. Because we are working very closely with her. So I want her to be the person who also interfaces, in our dealings, So I work with this lady, I train her, and right now as we speak, this lady has a very big opportunity where I work. So yes, I have a business, but I also work, one of those dynamics. Yeah. So she got a very big opportunity. But the reason why she got this opportunity is because of how well packaged she was. I trained her, and during that period, I remember just telling Gabriel, this lady is very impressive and she's going to go far. So the CEO, I work in an agency. So the CEO of where I work was like, Linet, I need someone who can do a lot of, then he was looking for an executive assistant. But can also, or is also going to grow in the space of digital marketing. So digital marketing and advertising, because we do a lot of creative advertising, so all the way from UI, UX to, if you're in the marketing space, I think you're a bit familiar. If not, maybe this may be a bit off, but I'm sure you know some of these terms. So we do all the way from UI, UX, web dev, graphic design, all the way to digital marketing, app development. So I said, I want someone who's also passionate so that they can also grow in this space, even as they are. Because you don't come into an organization and, you stay in one place. Sometimes when organizations are looking for people, they're looking for people who are willing to grow with the organization in certain spaces. So if there is no, it's like, how do I say it? Like, if you specialize in cooking, you're a chef, and you come to a digital marketing agency, I don't know where to place you. If you've been growing your brand around culinary skills, hospitality, and you come to an advertising agency, I'm trying to think, okay, even if I take you from the very lowest, my thinking will be, you're just here for the money. You're just here to make money. When a very good culinary opportunity comes, you will. So he wanted someone who would grow in that space, yeah. So I didn't even think twice. I thought Carol would be the perfect person for this job. She's very well packaged. She has a very good emotional maturity. She has very good EI, emotional intelligence 100. So say this particular type of role, and what we want in the corporate space these days is someone who has very high emotional intelligence, or someone who shows it. So it means someone who's not reactive. So right away she got a very brilliant opportunity. And that was, how do I say, it was in a spur of a moment. Literally just talked to Felix. Felix just told me that on Monday, on Wednesday, Carol, are you ready for this? Yes, I'm ready. You're prepared. Send me your profile. Send me your CV. Friday, she has a job she has not interviewed for. But what has pushed her is how she has packaged herself, her personal brand. She has not even worked on it intentionally. What if she would have? She probably would have had many other opportunities. But that's how it works these days. And that's the value of having a personal brand. That today, if I talk to you, just my engagement with you, just like the engagement you've had with the gentleman before, he can see something in you that would not require you to go tarmac and look for these opportunities, because you've already packaged yourself so well. And that's the value of personal branding. How well packaged are you, both at an internal level and not just at an external level? Because fakeness can be smelled. Let me ask you, have you ever been in an environment, have you ever had conflict with a friend? Even if it's just small, classmate, whatever. Have you ever had conflict with someone? And then there's that awkward silence, that awkwardness that is always there. You feel it. They don't tell you, na feel awkward around you, but you just feel we're not, like when you have conflict with someone. I know I'm not talking to people who are perfect, unless you guys are perfect, but I know you've had conflict with people before. There's an energy you feel, right? You feel like you even need space from each other for a while to just sort your emotions, because when you're together, there's the awkwardness. That's the same thing. When I meet you and we talk, your energy, I can tell from how you talk, how you are, how you act, whether there's there's a disparity between your character and your personality, or whether you are one with yourself. So the thing about personal branding is really packaging yourself. And then not just stopping at packaging yourself. Don't worry about that. What I'm speaking is more important, so my presentation doesn't. But I'll share it with everyone. So, but it doesn't stop at just packaging yourself. It's now, how do you put it out there? Because that is where most uni students don't know how to do. Yeah. So you're very good at, I saw there were science students. You're very good at what you do. There's someone who's in law. You're very good at what you do, but nobody knows about it. You study in class, you're waiting for the perfect opportunity for you to put yourself out there. I have to be working in a law firm, or I have to be working in, I thought you said civil engineering. I have to be working in a specific level. I have to be at a specific level for people to start seeing me. But if you're waiting for me to see you, maybe I'll be in my 40s. By the time you're starting to get really good opportunities, so that you can position yourself on LinkedIn or on Instagram or on YouTube, for me to be able to see you and identify the talent that is in you. Yeah? So it's one thing to package yourself, but it's another thing to know how to sell yourself. So it's important for you to know how to sell yourself. And you cannot sell yourself when you do not know yourself. That's the unfortunate thing. And that's the tragedy we all have. There are people who, if I sit down with you and we have a discussion, I will know more about you than you know yourself. So you still have battles within yourself. First of all, you're still not convinced about the course you're doing or the career you've taken. So you still have, you're in, you're out. So you still have conflict within yourself. So the exercise we want to do today is to make sure that when we leave this place, everyone is very well packaged, and everyone is going to tell us how they're going to package themselves in an almost like an elevator statement. an elevator pitch. You can tell me about yourself, about your profession, what you do, why you do it, for who do you do it, for whom do you do it, and how do they stand to benefit. So even at a professional level, you should be able to answer that. That's not just for business people. What do you do? Why do you do it? For whom do you do it for? Why do they need what you do? If you can't answer that even at a professional level, it means there's nothing you're bringing to the table. It means you're just here for vibes. If you can't answer that at a business level, it means your goal is very blurry, so you're not yet there. So if I ask you who you are from a very sincere point of view, if I ask you, who are you? Not even at a profession, because you see, you're not only made of your career. As a human being, how you're made, you have people who gave back to you. So you did not just exist. So you have people who gave back to you. So you come from a family, right? You have this family, there's a family you've been brought up in. So you have a lot of influence from your environment. You have a lot of, so you're not made up of, as a human being, you cannot be made up of one thing alone, just my career. As a human being, you're made up of so many things. But how you choose to define yourself, the label you give yourself, is what defines how you live your life. So if I genuinely ask you, who exactly are you? Are you able to tell me that? Do you know who you are? What are your values? What do you stand at? What do you stand for? What are your non-negotiables? Who are you as a person? What do you stand for? What career do you do? What's your profession? Why do you do it? Why have you chosen that career? If you can't answer those questions, and so in a nutshell, you have to do an introspection, yes? Because sometimes we live life so superficially, so we really don't know who we are. We look for a label. I'm either a civil engineer, okay, so you were born, from the time you were born, before you knew you were going to do civil engineer. So in Form 4, when someone asked you in Form 4, who are you, what were you saying? What? You're a high school. So you see, that's even dangerous. If your label keeps shifting based on where you are at in life, that's very dangerous. That today I'm defining myself as I'm a high schooler. And then when I join campus, I'm a civil engineer. Okay, so when I open a business and I no longer do civil engineering, so I'm defining myself based on the name of my business. Do you see where that puts you? So the beauty about personal branding is that it helps you to do a very, very thorough introspection. But the ugly part about personal branding is you might easily shift your career. You might easily shift your life. Because then when you do an introspection, you realize sometimes the reason we do the things we do is because there's an outward influence that tells us what to do. So this career has more prospect. This business will give you more people. Everyone is now doing this. So this stands a better chance. So you're really influenced by your environment so much from the time you are young, such that right now, the only thing that is authentic about you is your body. Everything else in you has been influenced by something else. How you dress, how you look, how you eat, how you walk, we were having a conversation, I think, with these two gentlemen. And he asked me, did you study in UON or Strathmore? So me, I was surprised, like, why are you limiting me to just those two universities, you know? And he says, you look like someone who studied in Strathmore. And I said, why? Because I don't know how they carry themselves out. And I said, imagine your environment, not just like, if today you decided to dress, if you decided to dress like someone who would perceived as someone who, say, Strathmore, I don't know how people from Strathmore really look, but imagine if you decided to do that, you would look like that. It's active, behaviors are not, we're not born with behaviors. We develop behaviors. So soft skills and certain behaviors that would make you look different, or perhaps are considered to make you look different, are some things, are items that you develop within yourself. So if you want to look polished, if you want to speak polished, if you want opportunities that would require you to change and be a specific way, then you have to train yourself to be that way. You get me? So there is nothing really that is limiting you right now from working on yourself to build up to the opportunities that you want. Yeah? So sorry, I'm using him because I know what he does. I'm going to get to know what the rest of you do, so it will be a bit easier. But if he tells me he's a civil engineer, what do you think is the first thing I'll do? If he tells me my name is, what's your name?
Jeff.
If he tells me his name is Jeff, and he tells me what he does, what's the first thing in this era you think I would do if I left this place? Speak. I'll look for him on the internet. And what if I don't find him? Forgotten. If you tell me what you do today, and it's the same case even with the other lady. She's called Carol. If she just told me, I'm passionate about this and this and this and this, and then I went and searched her and didn't get her, I'd forget about her. Yeah? So I want you to imagine your life without a business card. What's your business card? If you came today and told me, Linet, I heard you got an opportunity for this person. I'm interested in this and this. This is what I do this. Take my number. How many people do you think approach me with their numbers? Let's just even talk about relationships. Let's talk about dating. I mean, if you're a guy, you're a guy. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. So when you're wooing, and this is open. I don't like sessions where people feel like they have to be perfect, because I always say no one is perfect. We're all trying to groom ourselves. So just be very honest and open with me. So if you're wooing a lady, at what point, be very open, at what point do you ask for the number? You're who? Sorry?
I'm answering the question.
Yes. So you see a lady, she's looking fantastic. She's your type, she's attractive, hair on point, how she walks, how she speaks, how she carries herself out. You are in a supermarket. You're not in a setting where this thing of friends first. And no, you don't have that opportunity. And you don't want to miss this opportunity. Okay, I don't know whether this usually works for you that way, but you've seen this lady in a supermarket and you want to woo her. You want her, I don't know, you want her. You want her. I don't know. So what would be your process?
I'll try and get to know her for a few minutes, maybe.
We can't hear. Maybe stand so, yeah? Should he stand? Can you hear him? Maybe you should stand because they can't hear you. Come here next to me. I'm not, even if I'm not your type, just come and stand next to me here.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'd actually try and get.
She's on that lane.
Oh.
And then you're here. So that process.
I'll try and get to her first and get to know some basic information about her that will tell me more about her.
No, that's his process.
After that, I'll do that through asking questions.
That's his process.
Yes, after let's do it practice. After that, after maybe getting a few information, I'll see if I can ask for her.
Yeah, I think doing it practical, because me, I'm not getting it. But let's please come. You, yes. Okay, no problem. Come. We don't want anyone to be shy. Just stand. He said his process. So guys, no, he's at least talked. So you're in a supermarket and she's try act busy.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes. On how to woo her.
Typically, I don't do such. So, I'm in a bit of
a fix.
Yeah, in a fix. No, I don't do such.
Or they just come to you.
They come to me.
So just assume. All right. No.
The busy one. I should be the busy one, and then she should come to me instead.
Okay, guys. Just a minute, guys. I like your confidence, but just assume that you've seen her and she's very outstanding. And for once, you have to do this. How do you sell yourself to her in a way that will not be rejected? So let's give him time because of time, and then. So in short, in this room, men don't know how to sell themselves. And that's the thing. That's what we say. You can be well packaged, but do you know how to put yourself out there? Come sit. Please come. I can't believe that all the men here don't. Is there? I don't want to choose. Let me just have someone who actually can sell. Okay. So act busy. So let's just listen to how Jeff is going to sell himself and woo this lady. Hey.
Hi. I'm good. My name is Jeff, and I like you. I'll say it from far. I'll say it from private. You're actually. What's your name, girl?
Deborah.
Deborah. Yeah. I like that name. I was in around town for like 5 days. Not familiar with Nairobi, Sana. I come from Nakuru. I do a lot of business there. Probably sometime Friday, you're free. Right now I'm in a rush, but are you okay if we can link up later on?
Too kind, but I'll pass, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Maybe let's let her go. Anyway, he tried.
Stranger a lot.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say though. I was going to say if somebody just, I don't know, if somebody just came to me and told me, the way Jeff has told me, hi, I've seen you, and the first thing I'd do is you have to go, thank you, because for me it would be like, hey, dude, but that's how Jeff would do it. That's how he would do it. Him said he's a hot cake. They come to him. But either way, but what also I gathered is you must be able to sell yourself, which you're struggling with. And you see, that's what most of us struggle with. I mean, it's so easy to know what I am good at. I'm beautiful, I'm fly, I'm all those things, but you can't sell yourself. You don't know, you don't have the words to sell yourself. You don't even know how to approach. Even for a networking event, you can't just come to someone and, hi, I've seen you. I saw you talking about branding, and I think you're doing a good job. Can we link up? Can we exchange numbers? What you will get is their business card. They will tell you a bit more about what they do, what they think. I saw a group of people talking to the gentleman who just left, and what information they got it based on what they asked. But what I wonder is, did I actually get an opportunity with him for more than just a session of, is my business okay? What do you think about my business? Can I sell? Can it? So that's what we want to learn today. How do you create opportunities for yourself as a personal brand? How do you sell yourself? And the two things you have to really understand when it comes to personal branding: intrinsic value You cannot just ride on your extrinsic value. Your external value is not enough. My skills, my external skills, what I learned in class, what I do professionally, what I do as a career, those are just extrinsic values. But there's something beautiful that everyone has inside them that is very unique to each one of us, that most of us don't tap in. There are values that are very extrinsic to us. There are things in us that we have that we just don't. You know the way I say jumpstart? The things, if you started today to jumpstart in yourself, they will start reflecting outwardly. Some things can't be forced. You can't force yourself to be confident. Even if you're here acting all big, inside you're shrinking, with time, tutasikia either sauti ina, your voice is, or you just don't, this is how you carry yourself around. So there are things intrinsically you have to work within yourself. So one is your self-esteem. Unfortunately, you cannot work on your personal brand when you have a low self-esteem. You cannot. You have to work on your self-esteem. And there's 6 pillars of self-esteem. But I just mentioned the one I think is very, very important. For you to work on your self-esteem, you have to be very honest with yourself. Honesty. I think do you know the thing called white lies? The white lies that we give. Niko Nyayo and your sijui in Mombasa Road, as in those white lies that we give here and there. Unfortunately, I know we do them sometimes, we say to save ourselves, or sometimes some people pin them to emotional. That's what is emotional intelligence. Unajua ukimwambia uko hapa, you'll have crushed this person, etc. So but unfortunately, if you don't live a life of integrity, it weighs down on your self-esteem, because what you're also communicating to yourself is you can't also trust yourself. You can't trust yourself to keep time. So that what the repercussions of not being able to keep time means I have to lie to someone about. So those small things that look so natural, that we've made natural, sometimes affect how we operate. So one of the things I'd want you to really build is integrity. Integrity is very big, but from a very honest point of view, like, am I able to say yes, no, and I cannot do this, or I will be late, or I'm sorry, but right now I'm not in a financial position to participate in this. Or right now, are you able to be that honest without fear of judgment? Because fear of judgment is what makes us not be honest. But the moment you're able to nurture that, it looks like a very how do I say, it just looks like something, but try develop that, being very honest, and then see what changes in you. And then you'll tell me. Just be very honest for a week. It doesn't even have to, even for a day, okay. But just for a week. Someone tells you, what's that one thing we all fear so much to, what's that one thing? I'm trying to look at from my uni days. The one thing that would, or from my early career days, the one thing that would freak me out such that I wouldn't want someone to really, those things that make us do white lies. Even a simple thing as someone asking you, maybe you are supposed to meet at 8 a.m., at 7:30 is when you're still dressing up and all. Can you be strong enough to just say, Skia, mimi nimechelewa, I'm sorry, I woke up late, and I'm sorry I let you down, but I won't make it. Are you really able to do? Like, those things, I don't know why, but white lies don't come because, they don't come because we always shield them, like trying to protect someone, or wacha ni manage, just managing people. But if you were able to be honest with people based on how life is, based on why you wouldn't do some things or why you're doing some things, something in you will change. You'll start trusting yourself more, and that will boost yourself. Just be honest. Just be honest. For a week, I'm not even asking for a month, and you'll see what will change in you. You'll be able to trust yourself more. So but anyway, that's a whole other topic. That's self-esteem. So you have to work on your self-esteem. There's a book called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. If you can all read that book, it would be amazing. So you look at different pillars. So there's integrity, there's a pillar I forget that was really nice. The self-discipline. There's a bunch of pillars there that are really nice. So self-esteem, you cannot work on your personal brand without having self-esteem. So that's one very important thing. So those are intrinsic values you must have within yourself. You must have a high, it doesn't have to be very high, you just have to have a self-esteem. Work on your self-esteem. 2, for you to work on your personal brand, you must have emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is just the ability. Let me tell you something. I don't know your levels of experience. I don't know, is everyone here in uni? I know there's someone who was working, but not graduated yet. But everyone here is in uni. No, some are working or transitioning into the work environment. So the truth of the matter is this. You know, as human beings, the reason why we say community is because they say you cannot exist in an island. It's because while I'm here, there are things I can do well that you can't. And there are things you can do well that I can't. So we complement each other. So in a nutshell, if we would not be needing each other, then every human being would be living on their own without any struggle. But sometimes that social element, maybe it's the social element you give me, we can talk, I can vent, I can do all those things. But again, in this same community is where you grow as a person, right? Because you have different personalities. Now, the different personalities require you to have a very high emotional intelligence, because one thing in the workplace or when you're doing a business, you cannot afford to be reactive. And guess what? Being reactive, as to whether you are reactive or not reactive, does not stem from I can build a thick skin. Have you ever been in a position where you've met people who are really kind, they're quiet, they're very understanding, usually they're not loud and all, and then one day something can happen and they really shoot. You know, sometimes you really don't know what can trigger you until you actually experience something that can trigger you. So the reason why you work on your emotional intelligence is to make sure that by the time a trigger comes, you're so grounded within yourself, it's so easy to handle anything. So emotional intelligence is key when it comes to personal branding, because you've seen brands like Kate Actress, those are personal brands. You've seen brands like Asiad when they are trolled. Or you've seen those personal brands in Kenya that you consider celebrities or stuff like that, when they are trolled. How the different people react would tell you if somebody is actually working with someone in personal branding, or if somebody actually has worked with themselves or has been guided, or someone who's just working, so they just also react. You see their reaction on social media, you see how they react to trolls, you see how, and that's the thing, if you don't have a very strong self-esteem, if you don't have emotional intelligence, what happens is it's very easy for you to be pushed. Yeah, so I can come and tell you, you don't look handsome, you look terrible. And that can really affect you. You can come to the workplace, you can come to an interview, and I can tell you something that will make you stay in your house for 6 months without leaving the house. That's how bad it is. I know it looks like theory right now. Come for interviews. We do mock interviews. I run a personal branding agency. We do mock interviews. And let me tell you the truth. Sometimes people are not really ready for the level of growth that they want. Because this is the thing, some of these things can really damage you if you don't have a good foundation in terms of your emotions, in terms of your self-esteem, in terms of your confidence, in terms of your expertise is one thing. You could be the best civil engineer, but if your personality, if you as a person are not equipped to run this job from a very personal point of view, you will break. That's why somebody can be so skilled, but they find it so hard to maintain a job. They can be so skilled, but they find it so hard to maintain an opportunity. Yeah? So personal branding, your intrinsic values are very important. You have to work on your emotional intelligence, your self-esteem, your confidence, your soft skills. So how do you talk? How do you eat? Because that's another thing. How do you dress yourself? You know, I'm not saying you need to wear suits. I don't wear suits. I'm even in rubbers today, honestly. I don't wear suits. But how you dress yourself reflects how you feel about yourself. You know, how you smell. There's something we always do. We do a scent. It's interesting because these things that look like I can just spray perfume and just leave the house. Have you met someone who just looks like they dipped themselves in the perfume? And it's very annoying because it's too strong. But also, have you met someone who just has a bad odor? Like they really smell and they don't know that they smell. Or if they know, they just like, hata wamejizoea. You get? So these small things, you think that you do them, or people do them so naturally because, I mean, for his level, for his age, but you've met 40-year-olds who can smell really badly. You've met 40-year-olds who don't know how to dress themselves. You've met 25-year-olds or 20-year-olds who know how to present themselves, who can speak up, who can walk, who can, you know. So this is not a thing of age experience or work experience. It's a thing of developing yourself inside out. Inside out. So inside reflects what appears outside. I can't fake confidence, that's for sure. I can fake expertise. That's why you see those people of pyramid schemes. You know those people. It's very easy for them to tell you, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. They can come with a car, whether it's theirs or not. I think it's a legit job for them, so I'm not dissing them. But they have so much, they've understood the product so much, they can sell it to you, you'll buy into it. Whether it's working or not, we don't know. So you can fake expertise. I can fake expertise, but I cannot fake who I am as a person. So that's the difference between just being a professional in something and being a personal brand in a specific industry. So you can share thought leadership. I can come and say, he's a thought leader in civil engineer, from how he talks about civil engineering. When I go to his LinkedIn, I can say whether he's a thought leader or he's just a statue. Do you know statues? Like people who come to social platforms because it's a trend. Thread is here, I'm on Thread. Instagram is, I'm on Instagram. On TikTok, they're just statues. They don't move, they don't get moved. They don't move with a purpose to a social platform. You don't always have to have a purpose, but you also can't live like the sea in life. You just moved, yeah? So that's in a nutshell, I've said so many things, but that's what a personal brand is. And why it's important is because you'll get very, very many amazing opportunities. I want to take you back to my uni days. When I was in uni, he was right, I studied in Strath. So when I was in uni, when I just finished uni, I didn't do marketing. I did finance BA. And then I worked in a bank. I worked in Middle East Bank. And when I got there, I was like, the ladies here are so pale, you know, because there's no life. But for me, I was so excited to be working in a bank. I'd come with my lipstick and my suits. You know, I just bought these random suits that you see on Instagram, 4,000, 3,000. These ones that are everywhere. If we meet, mwenye anasukuma mkokoteni, you know, these clothes that everyone everywhere can afford and they buy. But I used to wear those suits so gracefully. I'd put my lipstick and my eyeliner for, I think then it was 100 bob. It was just an eyeliner. I put my lipstick and then I just walk like I'm the manager of that place. And one time a customer comes in, then I was just an intern because I just finished. And you know, when you're looking for a job and there are these internship opportunities, some are paid, some are not paid. But you know, me, I was just excited to be in a bank. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying telling everyone I work in a bank. That was my selling point. In fact, I work in a bank. And then on our JDs, you know how you're given a JD, a job description. So there was there RTGS reconciliations, what we were doing in back office. So whenever someone would ask me, I'd be like, I do RTGS. So one of the things we do in back office. So I'd really learned those terminologies and I would just spit them like I was rapping, you know. So, but I used to dress up and I'd really look so nice until the ladies in the bank approached me. They were like, by the way, you know, if anyone came in here, they'd just say you're the branch manager in this bank because the way you walk, I wasn't attached. I wasn't attached to where I was at, but I was so excited about where I was. So it was not that, you know, right now I'm a receptionist. This is the much I can give at the level of a receptionist. But I was working like the branch manager. You get? So that's the beauty. How are you packaging yourself? Are you packaging yourself for the opportunity you have or you believe you have now? Or are you packaging yourself according to I'm a student? So the much I can do is, I'm not dissing people with hoodies, but the much I can do is probably a hoodie and I'm just going to be, you know. So are you seeing yourself as a student or a finance? You said you're in finance. So when you think about a finance person, what do you think a finance person, a chief finance officer, what do you envision, what do you think a chief finance officer looks like? What do you think they're doing right now? First of all, what do you think they're doing right now on a Saturday at, what time is it? I think 3:30. What do you think they're doing right now?
In big offices, most of the time, if they work on Saturdays, what ends at 12. So I think in the afternoon, most of the time, like, I think they go to out with friends.
Where do you think they go out? You don't know. It's okay to say you don't know. What do you want to be? Or what are you aiming to be? A what?
High school teacher.
A high school teacher. So a very successful high school teacher, what do you think they're doing right now? A successful one, because you're not just going to be a mediocre. They're having their businesses. Are you sure about that? Or it's something you're just imagining? Or they've started their own schools. All right. What do you want? What are you aiming at? A psychologist. So what do you think a very well-paid, successful psychologist is doing right now?
He's just chilling at home
With the family.
out enjoying.
If they were out enjoying, where do you think they'd be? Diani.
Family, yeah.
Where in Diani?
I don't know the
That's the answer. That I don't know is the answer I'm looking for. What are you looking to?
Okay, nafanya automotive engineering.
Automotive engineering. That's a nice name. What do you think a successful automotive engineer is doing
Right now.
right now at 3:30? Chile, Nairobi.
Still in the workshop.
Staying in the workshop.
Still in the workshop.
Still in the workshop. Why? It's Saturday, they're successful.
Okay, nasema hivyo kwa sababu unaonaga nimewahi kufanya kwa a big company. Nilikuwa naona kutoka asubuhi, pesa anakuja asubuhi, anapangisha kazi, alafu anakuja jioni nikitoka. So sasa I think
So yeah, kama hayuko job, what do you think they're doing?
the rest.
The successful automotive engineer, not the rest. I don't know who the rest are though. It's okay so you don't know. You know. But you're not convinced. What are you looking at? What are you looking at achieving or
Being an engineer.
a what?
Engineer.
An engineer.
Yeah.
In what exactly?
F1 engineer.
F1. What do you think a successful F1 engineer is doing right now?
Preparing for a race weekend.
You mean they don't rest? They prepare Monday to Monday.
Most of the races are on weekends.
Okay.
But there is no race this week. So we're chilling at home with family.
At home with family.
Yeah.
What do you envision is his net worth? You have no idea. That's the problem. I don't know whether you see a problem. Like, let me ask the civil engineer. What is a very successful civil engineer doing right now?
Civil engineering. Okay. He owns a contracting company. Yes. What he's doing or what he owns or
What he's doing now?
what he's doing now. Saturdays sites are usually going till, but it's currently 3. So probably he's just closed work.
What's his net worth?
Network. Very successful.
Yeah.
Probably he got a 2B tender, so his network currently probably 1B.
Probably.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask the lady in finance. What do you think a CFO studied? What do you think a CFO studied? A successful CFO? You have no idea. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, there's something I want to teach you. So if you go on LinkedIn, so how you do it, you need to work backwards. So if I'm looking to be an automotive engineer, I have to know, who am I looking up to? If I look, who do I consider as a very successful automotive engineer? First of all, so you can look at it in 2 ways, either in terms of the profession or in the terms of the company they're working. So if I'm looking to work in KPMG, say for instance, I'm in forensic, or I'm in auditing, so I want to move to KPMG. I'm in uni right now. So what I'll do is I'll go type KPMG on LinkedIn. Then I'll look at all people who are working in KPMG. First of all, if my idea is I want to be a senior partner in KPMG, I have to look at what is a current senior partner in KPMG, what have they achieved? So in terms of education, career, in terms of what they have that is contributing to their career, what's their net worth, the things I'd want to know about this person in order for me to, so you people are the ones who talk a lot about manifesting. Sorry, me, I'm very old, so I'm talking to a very different generation. You talk a lot about manifesting, but then how can you identify yourself as a top performing civil engineer when you don't even know what it looks like to be a top performing engineer? I don't know whether you get. How can I see myself as a chief finance officer, a successful one, when I don't know what it is like? So what am I aiming at? And that's what I'm saying. That's what personal branding is. When people look at you, they can see through you. They can see, this is a successful personal brand. This is where I'm going to put them. So your personal brand is the one which determines, when you come to an organization, where am I going to put you at? Do I put you here at a support role, like he said, or do I put you here? How you've packaged yourself. One time we asked for people's CVs, and it's interesting. There's someone who just wrote a normal CV. You know these normal CVs, bio, CG, what. Is that how you guys write your CVs? No? Good. So these normal CVs, the old traditional way of writing CVs, where people are just writing bio, and then it's, yeah? And then there are people who are even attaching their portfolios. Yeah? So say, for example, you're applying for a position in automotive engineering. They even have portfolios. And these are people from uni, so they don't have experience per se. But what they've put there is a portfolio of things they've tried to do at a personal level that contributes to their career. And that's what we encourage. When you're packaging yourself, start from, and that's why I've said you have to start from working inside, outside. You're not waiting for external factors like a job or a career that is already there to help you to package yourself. As a student right now, you're learning a lot about, I'll say finance because I've studied finance. I wouldn't say so much about automotive engineering because I know nothing about it per se. But when we were in uni, I think it was third year, we were learning about portfolio investments. Yeah, we were learning about portfolio investments, and the things we were really learning, that I could go to companies and look at their financial statements, and I'm able to see, like, oh, so when I look at these ratios, when I look at the type of investments they're bringing in, I start relating it to what we are learning in class, and it's very clear. So you at this level, you can talk about things that are very interesting in finance that you have learned, that you have knowledge on, and you can research and you can share that on LinkedIn. You don't have to limit yourself up to that time when you'll get a job for you to say, okay, now that I'm the branch manager of Equity, now I can talk about finance. You can start packaging yourself right now, and that is your portfolio. So that when you're sending your CV, one of your portfolios is, I'm very knowledgeable. So you see on your CV when you describe your skills and you say, I'm very knowledgeable about financial investments and portfolios. You present your portfolio because on LinkedIn you have a featured section where you put things you think that would be very important for your audience to learn and relate with. And you put these things as your portfolio. Here are some of the items that I have been able to talk about over the years, that I've researched about and just given a lot of thought leadership over the years. That's just your portfolio. So you have articles, and you don't have to pay to write articles on LinkedIn, do you? You don't. You can put out articles, you can put news. Those are your portfolios. You're building your portfolio. You get me? So that's what it is. How are you packaging yourself? When you send a CV to me, and I ask you send me your profile, and you send me a profile of, anyone can come and tell me, I mean, I like using the relationship example like that we've just had, because a man can just come and tell me, I work here, I do this, maybe I'm a manager or something, and I can get wood, but that's just what you've told me. What you're going to do in action is going to be more impactful, right? So if you tell me in your profile, you've just created a profile and you're telling me I'm good at this, I've worked with Machango, I have done this, that is just what you've told me. When I start working with you, I might meet a different person. So I need more than just what you're telling me. Yeah? So package yourself, create a portfolio. And you don't have to start working for you to have a portfolio. And your portfolio can have the articles that you have written. Your portfolio can have the training sessions that you've attended. I'm very skilled in leadership. I attended this particular course. These are the nuggets that I got. And you've written your articles very well. So from AYLF, these are the things we learned. And I was able to build on them. So you have Article 1, you built on this specific area you talked about. Article 2, you built on this. Article 3. That's your portfolio. I mean, that's knowledge you got, and you've grown that knowledge. You've shared with people that knowledge. So that's your portfolio. That's, in as far as we are concerned, that's what you have. You get me? That's your personal brand. You're building it. But now for you to have the confidence to do things like this, intrinsically, you must have very good self-esteem. You must have confidence. You must have confidence that whatever course you're doing, this leadership course that you're doing is actually grooming you into giving you opportunities that are going to translate into very valuable assets for you. Yeah? You must also be able to see yourself as an asset. Let me ask, the gentleman about automotive engineering, do you see yourself as an asset? Why?
Because something which can be planning, like as it has a survive because you have skills.
Which skills do you think would make you survive?
I can do repairs, Sagari.
So you have technical expertise. So that's what makes you an asset. So when you walk out there, you're confident because you have technical expertise. So that's your asset. Do you see yourself as an asset? Why do you see yourself as an asset?
I have experience and knowledge in nutrition, communication,
Okay, so if right now the office of the president called and they say you want a nutritionist, would you confidently go there? Now that is the confidence I'm talking about. It shouldn't be that I can work with some people, I can't work with. So do you have that internal confidence that can boost your personal brand? That's what I'm talking about. So I've said so little of so much, but I hope you can all see where I'm going with in terms of what you need to start looking at right now for you to start developing a personal brand that can attract for you opportunities. Number one, like we've said, you cannot see yourself as a CFO in X number of years when you don't know what a CFO is. You don't even understand the lifestyle. So how are you able to see yourself as one? If you seeing yourself as a nutritionist, I don't know whether it's a sports nutrition or in whatever category you see yourself in, you must be able to envision a successful nutritionist. What are they doing right now? What are they generating? What amount of wealth are they generating? What type of car are they driving? What's their net worth? How are they walking? How are they talking? What are they saying about nutrition? What courses have they taken? Yeah. So remember, you have to work backwards. If I'm looking to work in KPMG, I must see the person who has worked in KPMG. What do they have? Skills, papers, certifications, so that you start working on those certifications now as you aim to reach there. You get? They didn't just reach there by chance. Yeah. Okay. So how do you get started on your personal brand? So first you have to do an introspection. You have to be really decided. What exactly, I think it would help you. It's afternoon and you guys have had lunch. So you can see people yawning. So let me put a visual guide so that it's not only me you're seeing. So there are two things when it's not showing. You have to. Right. You can see. Lock this. Yeah, so when it comes to branding, there are two things. There's the visual identity, and then there's the brand identity. So when you're looking at visual identity is what look and feel do you have for your brand? And this, at a personal brand level, is very personal. It's just like when you see this yellow chewing gum, it's a lot of energy. So I don't know, when you're looking at visual identity, it's those all visual elements that you want your personal brand to express itself to other people. So when I look at the visual identity of Gabriel Machango, what do you feel when you look at his personal brand, the visual identity? When you look at his pages, when you look at how so visual identity, we are looking at the elements, we're looking at the colors, so when you look at his page, what does it communicate to you?
Visionary, directed leader, so like it's attractive to me. So something I want to explore and want to know what more does he do, because that's things clear. For example, his LinkedIn page, it's regular. Yeah, so for visually, it's appealing to me as a
Okay.
person, as a candidate.
Okay, that's how Machango feels. Has anyone interacted with Gabriel's page, Instagram or LinkedIn? How? Wait, has anyone interacted with Machango's pages on socials?
They don't have social media on LinkedIn.
No, this is very worrying. This is very worrying because, wow. Okay. Are there friends here? Like you, okay. Okay, so when you look at Gabriel's page, it has a lot of green. So he uses a lot of warm colors. When you look at Gabriel's personality, is he allowed, is he extroverted? Do these people know Gabriel?
They do know Gabriel.
Okay. Is he extroverted? Is he loud? He's a very chilled person. So you find that his personal brand, even the colors he will pick to use, are a reflection of his personality. So you find that, I don't want shouting colors, and I don't want to be, you get. So when you're looking at your visual identity, it has to be a representative of, it just represents who you are as a person authentically. Yeah? So that's how you get, so we're looking at how to get started on your personal brand. You have to be very clear on your visual identity. You don't have to use a logo. For the ladies, do you know Maureen Bandari?
Yes.
You know Maureen Bandari. What do you feel when you get to her social platforms? What do you feel about her as a personal brand?
I feel she's one woman who has conquered all the odds about what is body. In terms of body shaming, that. I would say a woman who has gone through with the right networks. Her friends are Nancy Mwai, who's an entrepreneur like her, and I will not that matter. A woman who takes space, but in a quiet, subtle way, but yet loud. And still, I've just been in the word. And also a woman who appreciates people and encompasses everybody, who has studied the art, both of fashion, the patterns, and also the business acumen.
So you have a lot to say about her, yeah? So, but when you look at her page, what do you feel? Like when you just look at her page, just visually, what is the first thing that hits your face? Elegance. That's what I mean. It's okay. If someone came to your social platforms, or you may not all want to be on Instagram and all hyped about it, TikTok and what have you not, but on LinkedIn, if I came to your page, how would I feel if I read your profile? Because some of you have just written student at UON. So I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, I'm like, okay, so you inbox me, you want an opinion, but I don't know, you're just a student at UON. You're seeing yourself as a student. I need you to have personal brands that reflect who you want to how you see yourself as a person. Yeah. So the visual identity of your personal brand is very important. So you have to be very clear. What colors am I going for? What represents my personality? It could just be videos. It could just be photos. If I come to your page and all you do is look, I'll be like, oh, this lady is elegant. If I come to your page and all I see is you're talking about finance, you're talking about, there's the lady called Joanne, the career coach. She started so easy. She was just talking about careers. In fact, then she was just passionate talking about careers, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, but she grew her personal brand around that. And now everyone can't even call her real name. They just call her Joanne, the career coach. Yeah? Some people will be born knowing Kate Actress is just called Kate Actress. They'll even think Kate Actress is the second name to Kate. But because she's built a personal brand around that. So you have to be very clear on your visual identity. But most importantly, you also have to be very clear on your brand identity. Like I say, for business brands, it's very easy to fake, not really to fake, but you see, there's someone in marketing, there's someone in finance, there's someone doing graphics, there's someone, so they're just using the business brand toolkit to push this brand. But you see, for personal branding, it's not someone sitting behind the computer just writing, promoting. It's actually you. Even if someone is doing it for you, it's you. So you cannot separate your personal brand from you. So you cannot lie to people about what you're not. Yeah, it's very easy to read inauthenticity. If right now you came and like, even you yourself when you're lying, this is how you feel, right? You just feel some type of way. So someone who can really read through you, they can just say, hey, huyu venye hata ni kama you're hesitating or doing. So you have, for personal brands, you have to be very authentic. If you're not authentic, what happens is, you've seen personal brands that have gone down the drain. They go down the drain because they show us a side, and then behind that side, there's somebody else who was working. So you find like they can't keep up with that, whatever they showed their audiences for long. So you have to be very authentic. So you have to be, it has to be your ideal version. It cannot be, because I want to be a CFO, now I'm trying to position myself as one already, but I can position myself as a person who understands finance or who loves or is passionate about finance. Yeah. All right. So this is just about social media. I think when it comes to social media, we have we have different tastes, but every social platform has different needs. And you do not go to a social platform because of trends. You go to a social platform because of where you think your audience is. So if you're looking to woo human resource people, I don't think Instagram is the place you want to start with. I think LinkedIn would be the best place. Yeah. But if I'm looking at, there's something called audience mapping. If I'm looking at, I'm mapping my audience and I'm looking at, so who are they? Where are they found? How can they reach me? If I'm looking at human resource people, I want opportunities in finance. So I know very clearly the people I want to position myself for as a personal brand are human resource people. Where are they found? They're on LinkedIn. Okay. How can they reach me? Yeah. So first of all, if they're searching for someone in, say, nutrition, they will type nutrition. That's the process of hiring. First, you look for everyone in this industry, and then you look at their expertise. Do they meet what I want? So have I done SEO on my LinkedIn such that if somebody was looking for this expertise, they can easily find me? So am I easily searchable? Okay, fine. This is how the human resource people will find me. They will search me. Secondly, do they have something they can work with without my intervention? So is there a CV? Is your LinkedIn profile organized? Yeah. Is it very, don't put things that you did in 19, like things that you did, you know, when you're positioning yourself, if I'm looking for someone who has done, let me say finance or marketing, because that's my industry. If I'm looking for someone who has done marketing or branding, and then I go to their LinkedIn, there's a section where you put your experience. And they've written there, first of all, they've written, they worked in a hospital as a receptionist. And then they worked in a bank as a teller. And then they've worked in a cleaning company as a secretary. So I'm not so sure, okay. So on your bio, or whatever you're applying for, you want to become a marketer, but when I look at your experiences, I don't see anything marketing. Let me tell you the truth. People don't look for people to work with in jobs because of the potential they have. They look for people to work in jobs because of the experiences they have that will help their jobs move or their businesses move up. So when I don't see that, I don't have motivation to hire you. So it has to be very clear. So if I'm looking at I'm looking at my LinkedIn, without my intervention, can someone pick me over another person? Yeah. Can someone, they don't have to call me to ask me, so I see you worked here as a secretary. Did you do anything related to marketing as a secretary? Do you get me? Can people still pick you without your intervention? So that's it for LinkedIn. And any other social platform really, it's just to see, as a personal brand, me as a person working towards a specific goal, my audience, where are they and how can they find me? Yeah. So I don't want to read those because you'll end up writing. you'll end up writing, and I want you to listen. Building a professional, but we've talked about this. So it's like I'm just going through what we've talked about. Remember what I said about a professional portfolio? It doesn't have to be something mind-blowing that you've created a whole website. Well, you can do that, which is amazing. But even the small articles that you write, even the things that, like the leadership trainings that you do, how you build on them, that's a portfolio. The trainings you've attended, the certification, that's a portfolio. And you can demonstrate that. Oh my God, now we have tools like Canva. You all know Canva? You can do so much with Canva. You can build your portfolio, you can build your profile. You can, if I was you today and I had an active LinkedIn, I would take a photo with one of the speakers. I just saw, I kept observing, and when we were having food, when we were having lunch, there's a speaker who was here, I'm told, in the morning, so I saw him there. And I'm like, I don't know, but you guys are just letting valuable people just leave scot-free. I'd say I'd take photos, and that is part of building a portfolio. Put it on LinkedIn, say, today I attended this event. These are the key lessons that I learned. Let people see that you're not just that, you're building yourself. You're actually building yourself, but look, I can't tell you're building yourself. How do I? So today I learned about leadership, and these are the facets that I've learned about. Today I learned about personal branding, and these are the steps I'm taking towards building my personal brand. Before this event, you all got a program, right? So did you search these speakers? Did you actually search them to know what are they, who are they, what value can they give me? Ama you just had, there's a session, tuende, kuna lunch, breakfast, na nini, that saves me the day, So you have to be very intentional. That's how you build your portfolio. The people you meet in your life are assets. The people who are teaching you more than you know. Anytime, even if it's just a peer, they're teaching you more than you, that's an asset. And that can be part of building your portfolio. Portfolio is not just the work you've done. Portfolio is also the people you've interacted with. Yeah, I met with these people and I was able to build my skills around this area, So for you to become an asset, you also have to build assets around you. Yeah, so that's on portfolio building. So yeah, I've listed tools you can use. Of course, simple tools. I tried to put as much as possible free things that you can use at your level. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are broke. You may even be richer than me, But what I mean is, can you not have the excuse of, I don't have resources? Yeah, you can start with WordPress. Canva these days has features to build a website, a simple, beautiful website, Canva. WordPress, Wix. Yeah, nobody is going to drill you, why don't you have a domain and all these things. When you're sharing your CV and you have your portfolio attached, nobody's looking at, everyone understands we're at different levels, we're just finishing uni, but what's your portfolio? Yeah, what do you have to show for it? Who are you as a person? When you write on your CVs, the way you have soft skills, you have emotional intelligence and all, the unfortunate thing about these things, you cannot just say you have them. You actually have to live them. But all these things packaged together make you a better person, make you who you are. So if I were you, I would look, I have leadership skills. I have studied with Machango, I've studied with Gabriel. I have leadership skills that, really give me a very holistic perspective on how to deal with different items based on my level. So even if I'm getting into an entry-level position, what leadership skills have I learned here that can apply there? You get me? And how can I create a portfolio around everything I'm learning here right now to build on my portfolio and show it to my employer, or to build my portfolio and show it to my customers? Because I don't know why people think, when hear personal branding, they think it's only related to a profession, but also related to business. Right now, what you're building, what your parents built, what your people came before your parents, the parents of your parents built, they're assets that you build when you're young that still help you and go a long way to help you. So those are networks. Those are the things that are in your portfolio. quantifiable, not quantifiable, but they're in your portfolio, that go a long way to help you. So don't imagine that now I'm in uni, so what I have right now is very minimal. It won't be very effective uko mbele. It will be. That's how you grow a portfolio. Yeah, that's how you grow a journey. Yeah. So this is just a summary of everything. I've talked about the free tools. We have Canva, we have Grammarly, scheduling. Oh my God. So the reason I put scheduling, you don't even have to use photos. There's Later, there's free versions, there's Later, there's Sprinkler. But you see, when it comes to personal branding, content creation is very key. And the reason why many people get demotivated along their journey to build a personal brand is because content creation is exhausting. It's exhausting. That's why right now you're not motivated. I just go on LinkedIn to just keep. But when you have a scheduling process, there are things that you do that keep you disciplined and keep you on track and keep you consistent. So if you're working on your personal brand, your LinkedIn is optimized. Tick. I think everyone here knows how to optimize their LinkedIn. Is your URL your name? Am I many letters and numbers? It's your name. Good. Your URL, not your LinkedIn. So when I talk about LinkedIn optimization, what I mean is, first of all, you've worked on your URL, so you're easily traceable, you can easily be found. Secondly, you've worked on your bio area, so it's very clear what you do. It's not I'm a student at UN, it's not CPA finalist. What is a CPA? What is a CPA? Marketing, I don't know. Would you hire someone who says they're a CPA finalist? Would you? Okay. What is a CPA? What is that information helping me with? So it's not, a bio is something that really, let me search for one of you. What's your name on LinkedIn?
Bob Jomo.
Bob Juma?
Jomo.
Jomo.
Yeah.
I can't find you. I see student at KCA University. 0 connections. No profile photo. No, I'm not dissing you. I'm just trying to give them an example. No profile photo. Would you hire a ghost? No, you would not. No, I'm interested in seeing your LinkedIn. Maybe I'm doing the wrong session. I came here thinking they have. Let me see your LinkedIn. Maybe we need to start from there, how to optimize LinkedIn and...
We should do another session to do that.
You're not there. I can just click it for me. I can't. Let me see your LinkedIn. You don't have LinkedIn?
But I do, but I must.
Brian at least has a profile photo, but no experience, no education, no skills. Wow. Let me see your LinkedIn. Oh, okay, it's okay. Let me see your LinkedIn. You don't have a LinkedIn account. Okay. Let me see your LinkedIn.
Can you check for me?
Huh?
It's loading still. Can you check for me?
Oh, okay. What's your name? Samuel, with a U or a W?
You. Baraka.
This one?
Yes.
Mediator. Ooh, Samuel Baraka. Samuel has a photo. Samuel is somewhere. Oh, it's amazing. Samuel has 500 plus connections. He's verified. His experience is at par. Education is there. He's put his certifications. He's done ALX. He has received recommendations. I would definitely hire Samuel or recommend him. Just clap for Samuel. I think he's the so Yeah. Yeah, I won't even continue. But I think a session that needs to be done for everyone is how to actually create like in this leadership course, we need to introduce a personal branding course where by the time someone is leaving, they have a LinkedIn, even though it's not LinkedIn, it's Instagram or anything, they have a very packaged personal brand as leaders. Because I'm imagining if you're doing a leadership course, you're a leader. Yes or no? Don't sound convinced. Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. You are not powerful. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you need personal brands. Let me tell you, the only way to get ahead is to have a personal brand. I swear I've received very amazing opportunities, both for my business and even as a career. The current role I'm doing right now, I didn't interview for it. I did not. And you don't have to do interviews for everything. That mentality that there's a structure, I leave uni, I tarmac, you can position yourself so well, people will just look for you. I promise you, work on your personal brands. Work on your LinkedIn. You're not on LinkedIn, it's okay. It's okay you're not on LinkedIn. But what really do you want in terms of your career? You get me? Work backwards. What do I really want at this level? Where do I see myself? You know, yeah? If I see myself as a lawyer, if I see myself as a top-notch nutritionist, because you don't need to see yourself small. Those are the things that make you do things small. But how can you do big things? Sometimes when you look at it from a selfish angle, then you don't do things. When you look at it from a very selfish angle, I mean, I'm still in uni, staki stress nyingi za. You're looking at it from a selfish angle, but when you look at it as, what impact can I make in life? What can I do differently for my life and for everyone around me? You may see things differently. We are so selfish when we think of, sai, it's my time, let me just relax. But when we think of it from a bigger angle, and people actually make you see things from a very big angle, and such sessions do, there's so much to life that you're not enjoying because of how small you have put yourself. It's like, before you go to the gym, you're okay. Even if you're not going to the gym, so you're still okay. I mean, before you work on your nutrition, you're okay, right? When you work on your nutrition, you feel different. And then you start wondering, kwani before I started working on my nutrition, what was I? Like, I thought that was my best, and then I'm elevated to another level. That's what happens when you work on your personal brand. Right now, you're thinking you're okay the way you are. Just imagine, as you are, you're okay, how better would feel if you went a notch higher, okay, if there was an okayer version right now. How do you think you'd feel about it? If today I told you I was in this training, Samuel, I want you to accompany me in the next training I'm going to do. It's going to be a session. Come, I want you to give a speech. I believe in you. I've seen your profile. I've seen how your personal brand. I want you to come and give a speech. Just because I have seen your profile, I've seen your potential, I've seen what you're doing. Just because I came to this training, I interacted with you, Brian. I interacted with you. I've met you guys. And then there's an opportunity that will come and be like, this is the best person for this opportunity. Come and talk. But look at an opportunity like that coming, but you're timid. Like, hey, man, I can't talk, public speaking, So what happens? You lose it. But when you work on your personal brand, I promise you, you will get opportunities that you've never imagined you would. You won't even have to look for them. So work on your personal brands. So the session I want us to do next, but before we go to that session, the other thing I want to tell you, the moment you start working on your personal brand, there's something you will notice. You will notice that suddenly your self-confidence will shoot so up, you'll be irresistibly attractive. That's what I want to tell you. You will walk in a room and people will just be like, there's something about this. You'll be irresistibly, and that's because you cannot work on your personal brand without working on yourself. So it's like they are together. So start working on yourself. You start believing in yourself. Slowly you graduate into now creating a lot of impact, and people start just looking at you differently. So work on your personal brands. Sit down, reflect, do an introspection. What do I really want? I want to become a chief finance officer. Okay, fine. That's just career. But as an individual, what do I really want? I want to have a lot of integrity. I want to be rich. People really fear saying that because they think it's selfish. It's not selfish to want to be rich. What's selfish about it? I want to be rich. I want to be ambitious. I want to be wealthy. I want to be financially stable. I want to be a CFO. I want to be all these things. So that's an introspection you've done. So what can I do now at a personal level to get there? Yeah? I want to grow a business in this. As a personal brand, you can push your business to grow faster than, let me use Rihanna. When you look at Rihanna's following and Fenty's following, who do you think has a higher following? Or Fenty is the brand, the beauty brand that Rihanna has, yeah? Rihanna has a higher following than her own business brand. So a personal brand can push your business higher than your business would, because people want authenticity. People want to talk to a person. People want a connection to a person. So when you talk to me about nutrition, share the little that you know. Share what you know. When you think that what I have is not so important, I mean, why would Machango go and read about finance from me? That little that you know is going to help him with the knowledge you don't think that they need, but them they need it. So share what you have on LinkedIn. Share your knowledge and you'll attract opportunities. You get me? Work on your personal brand. So we're going to do a speed networking session. And having said everything that I have said, I'm expecting that when we are done with this exercise, and this is how it's going to go, you're going to treat this as a networking session. Yes? So just face your partner properly and know them. We're going to treat this as a networking session. And you're going to say with a lot of confidence what it is that you do, who you are, what you stand for, what stands out for you,